Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with another episode in our page ideas series. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of collage work in the lower right hand corner of a page. And this technique could be applied in an art journal as well, but I've had some requests for how to do this in your actual junk journal making. So I've got a lot of supplies here. Please don't be alarmed. You do not need all of these things. I just wanted to share with you some ideas about what you can bring to the table to kind of spur your ideas. So I've got a bunch of washi tape here. Let me just hold it up here for you to see. See if I can get it on my fingers. So we've got washi tape, okay? So I don't know what of this I'm going to use, but I wanted to have some things here in front of me that inspired me. So I'm just going to set those over there. It's still in my view, so I don't forget about them. I've got some 4 colors of Distress Oxide. I'm not a huge Distress Oxide fan, but I also committed to bringing some mixed media techniques that are dry. Now, obviously ink is not completely dry, but it is a drier medium than what you would typically see me do on the channel, which is a lot of mixed media with paint and texture paste. We're going to be strictly working with Distress Oxides, and a little bit of water. So we are going to prep our page because we want to make sure that our Distress Oxides will sit on our page. I don't think that's a necessary step, so you can experiment for yourself. But I also have my swatch cards. These are all of my Distress Oxides, so I like to pull these out just so I can see what my colors are when I'm kind of trying to inspire myself. So the next thing that I do when I'm planning the project is I will select a focal image. So this is my focal image. It's going to be this beautiful butterfly, and the sentiment on the page is going to be, don't forget to fly. So we'll get to that a little bit more later. So basically everything that I do in terms of choosing things for the background is based on this image, is based on these colors, this aesthetic, and all of that. So I picked for my inks, I picked fossilized amber, frayed burlap, which is this color here, which I thought would be absolutely beautiful in here. So we're going to use that. So we're going to try to do some ink smushing because I think I'm going to have to. I may have to grab some acetate or some kind of plastic. We'll see. I didn't plan because I need something really that I can lift up and put on the paper, but we'll play. We'll see what happens. And then I also have Rusty Hinge because I thought it would be a good color to bring, a good choice to bring out some of the oranges, and then the Faded Jeans for the blue. So let me show you Faded Jeans here if I can find it easily without being too long here. My hands are not working. I'm still recovering. I can't sit around and lay around and sleep anymore. I did learn, as many of you know in my Facebook group, that it turns out that all of the symptoms that I thought were med related or concussion related are probably the flu. My husband came home yesterday afternoon very, very, very sick. This man does not get sick. He does not get sick. He's been at his employer almost 6 years and he has only called in sick once. So he brought it home, and so I think that that's what I had, and I probably gave it to him. When I get the stomach flu, which is very rare, I don't vomit. It's just not something I do. But he is very, very sick with the vomiting, and so it's very, very sad to hear and watch. But anyway, so I'm still lagging, still struggling. So this might be a little bit rough, but I hope that you'll hang in with me and enjoy the process. So those are our inks. So I'm also going to set those aside because we don't want those in our way. I've got a couple of stencils that we'll be doing some stencil accents for the background. And I've got some stamps as well for some stamping. And then I've got some, I always forget to use these, but they're large and lowercase and uppercase letters. And this is what we're going to use to make our sentiment. So I'm going to set those aside. And then I wanted to kind of tell you, share my formula with you. So I'm going to pull this piece of paper out again. So I like to create some background interest behind my focal image. So So that's where I got the butterfly. It's one-dimensional. It's just something that's going to pop off the page and let us know, hey, I'm a butterfly. I'm here. I want you to see me on the page. So that's the idea of the focal point. We're going to do inking, stamping. I already talked about the focal point. Oh, the background interest is the stenciling. I'm sorry, one-dimensional stenciling. So no raised texture or anything in this project. Some washi tape and some stenciling, which I already just talked about, but I wanted to make sure in my current frame of mind that I did not forget to mention anything. I've got a couple of brushes. I'm going to move my mouse, and I'm going to move the butterfly as well so we don't get that in the way. I've got my clear gesso because we are going to do a little bit of clear gesso in the area of the spread that we're going to be working on. We don't need to gesso the whole thing, but we do need to, I feel like we need to protect the surface. Now, I'm not an expert with Distress Oxide, so I don't know if they respond differently on a gessoed surface or not, but we're going to try it my way, and you can obviously try it your way. I also did pull out some gesso, regular gesso, but I don't think we're going to be using gesso. I want to keep this as dry as possible, even though I am using the clear gesso. So these are some of the elements I picked for creating the collage idea on this page. So I've got a piece of, this is just stuff from Amazon. I bought these packages of paper. It's really lightweight, great for collaging. So we're going to be potentially using that. I was going through a basket, and I had made these. They're like a skin, and they're made out of fiber paste. And I did a video on this, but look at these. Aren't they absolutely amazing? And this is just a cluster one. Like it's fairly thick, so I'm not sure if we're going to use it. This one seems to be a little bit thinner, but I thought I'd pull them out just in case we want to use them. I've got some labels here, sticker labels. I also found this in that same basket. It's just a grungy flower shape that I did some time ago. I have some tea bag and then a variety of labels. I don't need these quotes because I did decide on something else, so I'm going to set these up here. It's been about 4 days since I thought this project up. So we've got some die cuts just again from my stash. I just found them, and we've got a number of labels, and if you'll notice, everything is in the colors that are in the butterfly. So that's kind of the key to making your spread be cohesive. And cohesive meaning everything looks like it goes together, like it's family, you know, yeah, they're all saying the same thing. So I've got a variety of things here, just a bunch of stuff, some labels, some things from your creative studio. I pulled this out. I'm not sure if I'll use it, but we're going to go ahead and get going. So I'm going to set these pieces aside as well because we don't want to have those get in the way. But I would encourage you, if you try this, just to kind of go through your stash and just pick your focal image, and then pick things from your ephemera stash that speak to you, that seem to go with the project. So this is what we're going to stamp on. I believe this is a piece of fabric. It looks like cotton, but I like the little, it's almost like buttonholes in there. I'm not sure where that came from, but I thought that would be cool to stamp on. So we're going to go ahead and open this up. This is our journal page. Now we're going to be creating on the inside, okay? So it's going to go in the journal like this. So this is our spread. So we're going to be focusing over here. However, I am going to let some of my stenciling go over here and some of my ink. So I need to take a pause here because I did not get any plastic. I need some plastic to be able to do some ink smushing. So I will be right back. Okay, I just grabbed a piece of acetate. So we're going to start with our gesso, which means we'll have to dry this with our heat tool. So that's another thing that's necessary when you're doing wet medium or you're doing anything kind of mixed media style, because you never know when you need to dry something. My thing is caught up on a wheel over there. Pull it towards me. There we go. I'm just going to put that right there. Oh, we're off like gangbusters. Okay, so I'm not going to use a lot of gesso. This is clear, so it is going to dry completely clear. I'm hoping that this is not plugged up. It seems like it might be. Oh, whoa, that was a lot. Okay, so we're just going to spread this out. And again, I don't know how Distress Oxides respond on gesso surface, so we're going to find out. And so I'm basically just, I'm not going straight across. I don't want a line, but I do want it to kind of have this feel of it's like a hill over on this side in terms of building up. Okay, just like that. That should just be plenty. Oh, I have no water. Oh, let me grab. I have water. I still have a sick brain. I still have a sick brain. I am not 100%, but I am definitely on the mend. So just turning here and putting my brush in that water so I don't let that dry out. And I'm going to zap this with the heat tool and I'll be right back. Okay, I feel pretty good about that. So now we're going to do some Distress Oxide smushing. And so the beauty, if you don't know, the beauty of Distress Oxides is that you can layer them as long as you dry in between layers. So that's what we're going to do. And I want to focus my colors in a certain way. So our focal image is going to go here. So I think I want to bring in some of the oranges, maybe do some of the blues up here. So this is just an experiment, okay? So I think I'm going to do frayed burlap and the rusty hinge here. So I'm going to put my acetate down here. Sorry, you guys, it's going to be hard to see that, but I'm just going to smush that on there. Ooh, that was a lot. And I'm going to smush the rusty hinge as well. That's really bright. Ooh, I don't know if I like that. Okay, but we're going to go for it. Okay, I'm going to and you can kind of move it around a little bit just so you can get that to really move. I need a paper towel. Not sure that I shouldn't have mixed those together. You know what? We're going to start over. Those should not have been mixed because we're going to get a different color. I'm so sorry, guys. Back up, try again. It's okay. We can always try again. So we need to start with a color. So let's start with fossilized amber. Oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. I haven't worked with Distress Oxides in a really long time either, so this is going to be interesting. Okay, so I'm just going to take this, I'm going to turn it over, and I'm just going to smush. Okay, just creating a little bit of yellow in that background. That's really beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and dry this. I do want to get that big puddle right there. Okay, so I'm going to dry this really quick. Okay, now we're going to do some of the rusty hinge because that's not going to be a problem with the yellow. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that down and spray it again. I think I want a little bit less of this. Okay, and it's a lot. Okay, we're just going to go for it. Oh man, it was not quite the color I was thinking it was. So the other thing that you can do is spray your paper a little bit. Now, of course, you want to be using a paper that's not too thin, right? Because otherwise it's just going to make your paper a soppy mess. Oh, I like that. I haven't really done Distress Oxides on an actual journal page. This is going to be interesting. So we've got another dry here. I am going to just sop that. It is behaving differently on the gesso. So up here we don't have gesso, and down here we have gesso. So that's an interesting lesson for me. I can see my lines from my brush. So let me dry this. Okay. Apologize, I have to keep moving that way because my heat tool is stuck on a wheel and I don't want to get up and move it. That's okay. Okay, so there we go. Our paper's holding up pretty good. This is 65-pound paper. We've got a wet spot there. That's okay. And then we can just kind of dab this too. If there's any more like little bits of puddles, we can kind of dab them up. I love what's happening here. It looks very mixed media-ish to me, which is definitely my jam. So I think we're done with the rusty hinge, and we're probably done with the, oh, that was frayed burlap, right? Did I use the frayed burlap? I used those two, sorry. So I definitely want the Distress Oxide and frayed burlap also. I'm going to do a little bit less because I felt like that was just too much. I'm going to be a little bit more minimal there and a little bit less water, okay? Kind of mix it with your finger a little bit so you don't get as much water. Okay. And then we're going to focus on the places that are going to probably show, which are going to be up in here, I believe. Okay. So oh, that was much better. Not quite so much ink. Okay. Oh man, I love that. I love that. We're getting way up on this page, which was not my intention, but I think it's going to be okay. Oh, that is so pretty. I feel like we need more over on this other side, so we're going to use the rest of this up and maybe a little bit more there as well. Yeah, I love it. So I'm going to dry this real quick, and then we're going to do the faded jeans, and then we'll be done with the inking. Okay, beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. And so see how this is kind of fading off here because this is our focal area. So we're going to do a little bit of faded jeans, which means I need to be, I think I'm going to use my brush here. And so I can control a little bit more where that ink goes because I don't want it everywhere. So I'm just going to spray a little bit of water on here and use my brush. Actually, let's see if we can splatter that. My brush is too big for splatter. Hold on. Hold on. Let me get a different brush. Let's see if this one will work. Probably need more. Not wet enough now. Just a moment. Ah. Now it's a lot. Goodness gracious. Okay, let's see if this one will splatter. The smaller the brush, the better the splatters. Depending on your medium, okay? Because once we get this on here, we can kind of move it around a little bit. Why are you not splattering? A long time since I've done splatters as well, so I'm just going to kind of go like this and see if we can move that blue around a little bit. That's not what I intended. Okay, I'm not liking that. So let's just go in with the blue. Should have just done that in the first place. It's okay. It's just a journal page, so it does not have to be perfect in any way. Okay, so I'm gonna drop that paint in the water as well. And I'm gonna just dab that wet spot a little bit and just give this another dry, and then we'll be ready for some stamping. So I'll be right back. Okay, so before we move on to to any stamping, we need to, or not stamping, but stenciling, we need to decide on our composition layout. So I have this larger piece of paper, but I also have some smaller pieces. So let's just look at these together and see what is seemingly fitting with this composition. Okay, so we've got that, and then we've got our butterfly. And I thought we could kind of have, maybe we can have this go this way, kind of in this corner a little bit. And then have our butterfly. We don't want the butterfly to go over that corner though. I mean, over that fold. So maybe like so. And then I think I do want a bit of this. So I think I'm just going to do a rough tear. There's our butterfly. I like that. I like that stamp, or that postal thing. I'm going to move this in a little bit so you guys can see. A little bit better. There we go. Is that better? Okay, I don't think we need that one. So, and then I also thought these die cuts would be really, really cool to kind of have coming down here or something like that. I don't know if that's too much. I actually really, really like that. I don't necessarily want it so hidden though. So maybe on this side, it might be a little bit too big. Ooh, that would be pretty right there. What do you think of that? I do not like the straight edges on this, so we're going to go ahead and try that. We'll be inking these torn edges here in a sec. And I don't mind that straight edge on the bottom because it's the end of the page, but I'm loving that right there. So I'm going to scooch that over, and then I'm going to move that butterfly over as well. So it's again kind of sitting on that postage stamp because I really like this flower. It's a little bit large, but I wonder what it would look like that. I like that right there. And then we could have this kind of paper go over it, okay? So what I need to do, well, we're not quite there, but we're going to take a picture of this because that's another tip is to take a picture of your collage because obviously you're going to have to take it off to glue things down. So let's see what else we've got. I've got a ton of stuff here. I know I said already, but I really want to pull out the blue. So I'm going to just trim this down a little bit. It's a fairly large stamp. It's a digital. Don't ask me from who, because I don't know. Okay, so I feel like this would be really cool maybe down here in this corner. It's very big. Let's see if we've got another blue stamp. I don't think I do. I have a green one. That one might be kind of cool. And this was a smaller butterfly. I did the same butterfly, but I think that's a little bit too small for the page. Let's try it out though. We won't know unless we try. So let's try that same idea. Oh, maybe. Because then we're not crowding out that flower. What do you think? I think that small butterfly is actually better. Okay. We can still change our mind, so, but I think it needs to be on the other side now because I feel like it's disproportionate, and I'll talk about that in a second. But when we have this idea of this kind of V shape on our project, you want to maintain that. You want to like that, okay? Actually, that's, ooh, that would be really cool right there. But I feel like our butterfly needs to come up because we want it to be in that V, like so. Yeah, like that. Okay. Give me just a second. I need to put my hair up. Okay, no hair tie in sight. Oh, such is my life. So this actually could get smaller. We might make that smaller so again that we're retaining that shape up there. So we could also bring in some of this. I love this number 5. So we could put that here. Okay. And then I also really liked this label. So we could come over here with that label. Okay. And I don't think we really need the white flower. And I don't think we need these. I just was thinking that it might be nice to have a little bit of a writing space there, a sticker, I believe, from your creative studio, but I'm not sure. And then we also need to make sure that we leave room for our sentiment. So I was thinking that could go down here at the bottom so that we could put that right there. Okay. So, and we can always add more now that we have the cluster going on. And I don't want to come over here. I just wanted that ink to go this way. So I'm going to take a picture with my phone here really quick. Just give me a sec. Now I'm just going to set that right there so that I can, well, I got to pull the picture up now so that I can see it as we're working. Whoops. See it as we're working. There we go. Alrighty. So that's our composition. So now we can think about our stenciling, because we can bring the stenciling over here. We can have the stenciling in here and then up in here. So these are our selected pieces. So you can see, of all the things I chose, this is all I ended up at this point using, which is part of the process, is just to figure out what feels good to you. Now our paper is a little warped, and you can see we did get some ink going through the other side, which is not a problem either. Okay, so let's get some, oh, stamping. We want to do stamping first. I'm sorry, does not matter. You could, because we're doing everything else is dry, it doesn't matter the order in which you do the stamping or the stenciling, but I'm going to do the stamping first. So I'll grab some ink. I do want to use black ink because I want it to be super vibrant. I do not like using black ink though, especially now that I don't have any acrylics there. It's probably going to be a mess. It's okay. They're growing out though. I'm feeling good. Okay, so let's get some stamping on here. Okay, so you're not going for a full impression. Okay, so you don't want to lay the stamp down and do the whole stamp. You just want it, here and there. And of course, that is my opinion. Everybody is different. So we're going to go up here a little bit as well. Okay. That's that. And I'm going to move my hands off, see if I can deal with that ink before it becomes a huge problem. There we go. Okay. So that is our stamping. So now we're going to do our stenciling, which means I need to reach for, oh, what were we going to, oh, I guess we could use the ink, the Distress Oxide. So I'm going to grab a, I'm actually going to see if I can grab a makeup brush, makeup sponge. Let's see if we can use these. Okay, and our two stencils are these. I really like this one because I want to use this to bring out the blue, but I thought this would be a nice element in the background. So let's look at our focal image. I'm going to use the big one to look at here, and decide what we want to what color we want to use in this. I think I'd like to bring out that orange. So let's use the Rusty Hinge. Oh, very, very nice. Very nice. Okay. So let's do the same over here. We could go the other direction. We get more landscape out of our business here. So let's do that. So I'm just bringing this down to the bottom-ish. This is an old stencil, so it's got some bits that are sticking up. So I'm trying to be a little bit conscious of that. I'm not going all the way to the edge of this because I don't want a hard line. If that doesn't bother you, don't be concerned about it, and you don't want to overdo it. So let's make sure we didn't overdo it. That looks great. Okay. So I think I'll do a little bit in this corner. Okay. This is very nice. Very nice indeed. Okay. And now we're going to do the blue. So I really love this blue. I think it's the perfect color for that. I think that was the blue. Yeah, it was the blue for that blue and the butterfly. So I've got another sponge here. And I want to do some of these they're like a little swatchy thing. They remind me of a paint swatch. You can't go wrong with your stencils. Just pick whatever inspires you at the moment. Try not to overthink it. Yeah, I like it. I don't want too much of that. I'm not super thrilled with the stencil. I'm not as thrilled as I thought I would be. But it's okay. I like it. I like it. We're going to call that good. So let me just cap those up and make sure that we don't get those dried out. And we are on to building the composition. Okay, so we did our stamping, we did our stenciling. We do have a postage stamp or two over here, but we can always add that as we go here. So let's get to gluing our composition down. So I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac because it is my preferred glue. And so I'm just going to get this ready. And then I'm again looking at my picture. Let me just stop something here. There we go. Okay, so we were trying to see how far to the bottom I was. So this one seems like the logical first step. So I'm going to get my ink because I do want to ink those edges. I'm getting my vintage photo. I am inking all the edges because I'm not entirely sure what's going to show. So I'm just kind of looking at my picture and putting this in the area that I think it was. So, and I know that I want to get my flower in there because it's supposed to stick under here. So I need to actually, let me pull that up a second. I should have done that first. Sorry. Just going to pause that right there. Let me get my white glue. I haven't done this on camera before, you guys. Not in this way. So this is interesting. So let me do this really quick. Okay, I think that might be a good amount of glue. Just trying to grab it somewhere where it makes sense. So I want this to come up. I wanted that to stick down the bottom. So let's pull that back a little bit more and kind of have that flower right there hanging on that edge. I like that. Okay, I'm gonna grab another paper towel just so I can get rid of that glue that's oozing out from that gluing. I'm gonna put a little bit more glue here. The sun came out, so I hope that it's not a bother to have that shining in the window. It's kind of a nice surprise today. It's been very rainy here. We lost power the other night for eight and a half hours. It's terrible. We're so spoiled, aren't we? Okay, so, oh no. Oh no. Yep, the other piece goes on top. So I was concerned that I had this wrong. So what direction did I have that? I had it this way. So let's ink that up. It's kind of hard to see because I put this strip down at the bottom, so now I can't quite see where everything is in relation to the bottom of the page, which was a mistake, but that's okay. So I think we can go about there. Let's just look at this again. Make sure that we're popping this butterfly up where it needs to be. I feel like it's not high enough. So, yeah, that'll do. Perhaps a little bit more. I'm going to tear this edge since it's not going to actually butt up against the bottom of the page as I think I had planned originally. So that's the other thing, is you can change your mind. It's okay, but I do want that layered effect here. Okay. All right, like it. And then we're just going to try out the big butterfly. Yeah, see, the big butterfly is just too overpowering now. So I'm going to reach and shut that shade. I think it's too bright. Just a moment. There we go. I think that's a little bit better. So now our butterfly can pop up here. So let's ink her up. We can add the antennas if we want, or we can leave them off. These are, I believe these are, oh, where did these come from? They are a digital, they're a PNG file. I think they're called mixed media butterflies. They're not, these are not the ones from Sweet Pea Curiosities, I don't believe. Okay, so the other thing I'm thinking is I want to put a little bit of gauze there. So let me grab some coffee dyed gauze, or whatever that other stuff is called. Let me get a piece of this. You guys can't see it, I'm off camera. This is an old, like an old tablecloth or something. It might be a little much though, because it's going to cover up our flower, but you don't know until you kind of poke around and look. So let me see if I can find a piece of gauze or something. I bought a bunch of this off of Amazon in different weights because I really like how it tears. So got a chunk of that. Okay. I don't know, I still feel like I think it's too much because I don't want to cover up that flower. I should have thought of that before I started. So let's just stick with our original plan. So let's go ahead and glue our butterfly. I want to see if there's anything we want to put behind that butterfly, like maybe this larger stamp where we could have it just partially sticking out. Just grunge it up a little bit and make it look a little bit older. You can kind of even crease it and give some fold lines, give some irregularity to it. Okay, like that. And kind of stick that. Ooh, that would be really pretty right there. Do it. Do it. So I'm just trying to leave that butterfly in place so I can get that about where I want it. About there. I'm just lining it up to the edge of the page a little bit. Okay. And then we can go ahead and put our butterfly down. Oh my goodness. And then we wanted our butterfly like right here because I really remember when we were talking, I really liked seeing that postal stamp here that I thought was really, really pretty. So, oh my gosh, I love that. Is that pretty or what? Okay, just a couple more pieces and then we will stamp out our sentiment. It will be irregular, it will be imperfect, but I want to show you what that looks like as well. I love this number 5. Like right there on that stem. Yes, right there. But I want to make sure there's nothing else that I want there. That's a little much. I just was running into this is some stuff from Ranger. It's kind of pretty. If it was longer, it would work there, but it's not quite long enough. Okay. There's also some smaller numbers here that we could potentially use. And then this label, this is like I think this is a sticker, again from your creative studio, but I don't think we need it. So you can go overboard too, really, really easily with this project or process. So sometimes it's good to remember that less is more. I like this down here, but I don't want it too low because our sentiment's going to go down there. So. And then we'll put this one here as we were just talking about. I feel like I do need something going the other direction, but I also have this one. I'm really liking bringing out that orangish red out of the butterfly. So I'm thinking that we could come in with this here. Oh, that would be really pretty there. And that's going the other direction, so that's good. What about? We really, really wanted to use a little piece of this. We could now. It doesn't tear very easily. This is the first time I've tried to use it. Oh, it smells so good. It smells so coffee-ish. So where did I have that? Right here. Oh, this is a great way to bring some textile into your project. Very, very low profile. Sorry, I'm moving everything. And yes, let's do it. I'll hold this up, make sure that things are straightish. Okay, there we go. Now, obviously in your journal, this would be a decorative page. There's nothing on here that is useful in terms of journaling or anything like that, but that's okay. So let's glue this on as well. You know what? I think we might just do fly. Fly, because it's really challenging with the stamps. So let me wipe this up here. Okay. And I'm going to grab, if I can find them. I don't know where my foam pads are since I got my new cart. What did you do with your foam pads, Renee? I don't know. It's okay. Let's see. We could just do all uppercase, and then that would kind of fill up the space down here. Are they too big for this? No, they would be just right. So we've got a couple of tries with this because it's a long piece. So I'm going to just turn it like that, and I'm going to use these magnets came with my my glass mat, but look, I can hold that down. Isn't that epic? They're like super, super strong, and I can actually use the grid to keep my letters kind of straight as well. Again, it's not because I'm looking for perfection. It's just, yeah. So we're going to do fly because I think that will be easier for this video. So we've got our F. When you stamp with single letters like this, it is kind of a rough go. Sorry about that. My screen went blank again, went black, so I don't know what's going on with that. So I think we had decided we were going to move down here to make this work better. And then our Y. I was getting ready to take the Y out. Okay. Boom. Yeah. Love it. Love it, love it. Okay, let's get those magnets out of the way. And we're going to just cut that. And cut that. And we're going to end with putting this word right here. Just a simple word. I think I'm going to try to ink around this though. If I can find there's my ink. Yeah. Ooh, this inks up really beautifully. I don't even remember what this was. It was just in a random drawer. I'm going to just really make this look old and grungy. Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay. I don't know what to use. I'm going to use a glue stick right now. If I need to go back and re-secure it, I will. But I don't want the Fabri-Tac to show through that. So I'm going to just try this and see how it goes. You know how I feel about glue sticks, so desperate times. Okay, so I'm going to put that right there. And then I think the last thing that we're going to do is do a little bit of stamping with, maybe put a stamp, one of these stamps here and there, and then we'll be done. I don't know what's going on with my camera. It was at 53 minutes real time, and it just stopped. The screen just goes blank. It's so frustrating. I think I'm going to kind of go off the page right here. Ooh, that's really vibrant. I like that. I like it a lot, actually. What else did I pull out here? I got a number 785. These are from Stampendous or Ranger or Tim Holtz line anyway. I can never keep them straight. Yeah, that's nice. And one more, and then we'll be done. I'll show you a close up here, as close as I can get. So that's what we have, okay? So this is your fold in your signature page. So this could be the outside page, okay? So it flips and you've got more stuff on the inside, or you could do it the opposite way and have it go like this and have it open up like this. It does not really matter. But I love how it turned out. I thoroughly enjoyed this project. I hope that you learned something. I hope that it can make kind of mixed media techniques a little bit less intimidating, because I know sometimes when you're coming from, you know, kind of what I refer to as like the dry media world, where everything is one-dimensional and it's very controllable and all of that, it can be challenging to think about where you want to start with mixed media techniques. So this was mixed media. It's just not super three-dimensional. It doesn't have texture paste. It doesn't have a lot of that stuff, but it is absolutely stunning and I love it. So thanks so much, guys. I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.